Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Mike and Dave Hit the Stage. I'm Dave.
I'm Mike.
And today we're going to be talking about something pretty serious and pretty crazy. This is under the influence. So before we start, we wanted to make sure that people understand we are understanding of the mental health influence that drugs and alcohol have on the system and on families and loved ones. If you need help, get help. Reach out to somebody, even if it's just a friend.
Right. I believe, yeah. You know, sometimes it gets the best of some of us. You know, I don't even know what to say.
We're gonna get into it. We have family stories, we have personal stories, we have friends,
and we're still gonna have fun with this one.
Absolutely. Also, we are going to be talking about things like suicide and pain. So if you are uncomfortable, we understand if you don't want to hear it. We love you, and we're going to start with funny now, because we're going to start with Black Sabbath.
Oh, we're jumping right into it, huh?
Oh, yeah. We're
not going to tell everybody that this room probably smells like onions because it's about 400 degrees in this room.
Wait, why does it smell like onions?
I don't know.
I didn't eat onions.
That's right. I told you I powdered.
You powdered the beanbag. I use liquid powder because, you know.
Sweat?
I don't want a cloud every time I smack my nuts, which I do for fun. So let's start with Snowblind.
All right.
By the way, cocaine.
Yes.
Literally, he says it in the background in this recording, and live he just screams cocaine as loud as he can. Like he's calling his mistress.
Yeah.
Cocaine!
So this is not about him skiing down the mountain and being snowblind, like the actual saying?
No.
Oh, damn it.
So the recording of Volume 4, the album which this comes from, had a budget of $60,000.
Okay.
They spent $60,000 making this album.
Uh-huh.
They spent $75,000 estimated. $75,000 on cocaine.
Plus the 60.
Not counting the $60,000 they spent on the album. They spent $75,000 on cocaine in theory. You know, they didn't account for that.
And they're still alive.
Mostly.
Most of them.
No, they're all still breathing. They're mostly still alive though.
Yeah.
You know, Bill Ward is retired, but his back's a mess, and he's,
I am sweating.
I know it's unbearably hot, and we're gonna still do this.
Let's go.
We can't unfuck this.
So the one thing I noticed about this song, and I never realized, because we listen to it so often now, is that it really doesn't pick up to the middle, and then it goes back down. It's
those changes that we talk about.
Right. I always think of Black Sabbath as so heavy, and this song's really not that heavy.
It's not. It's more of a. We consider Black Sabbath metal, but really their stuff was rock and roll.
Yeah.
And this is that style where it was just kind of flowy, and it goes into those somber parts. Those, which I love Black Sabbath for, is the big open sounds.
Right. Oh, it was
heavy, fast picking is one thing, but
I didn't pick up. This is the remastered version.
Yes.
So I know everything. They change everything.
Yeah, you can't find the original.
So it's so annoying
online.
Because I enjoy the original versions the way you hear them, and when they change it like this one, I didn't pick up because not that I'm not a huge Black Sabbath fan, but I don't listen to it as often as most people probably do.
True.
So I didn't hear a big difference. Did you?
I do, only because you're missing a lot of the grit from the original recording.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cleanup in the remastering process.
Right.
And there's not, like, they didn't do much with the arrangement.
Mm-hmm.
They did more with the overall tone.
Okay.
It's cleaner. That's really the answer. It ends up being a lot cleaner.
Okay.
Yeah, this song is awesome.
Of course it is. It's Black Sabbath.
It's Black Sabbath. I know. And there are people who don't like Black Sabbath.
Of course there are people who don't like Black Sabbath.
Yeah, they're called morons. No.
Okay.
Sorry, Mike. Not really. I'm not really sorry. No.
Yeah, but Mike's against the grain on basically everything we listen to. He not dislikes, but he has a problem with.
He does have a problem with it. But not everything, but when it comes to Black Sabbath, he's never liked Black Sabbath.
Okay.
He's never enjoyed Ozzy's voice. And I'm not, like, of the Black Sabbath singers, I'm going to commit heresy here. Ozzy's not my favorite singer.
Who was it, Dio?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it was Dio, then Tony Martin, then
Ozzy?
Glenn Hughes.
Oh, jeez.
Then Ozzy, and then that one with Ian Gillan. Was it Ian Gillan? Yeah,
No idea.
the
See,
singer.
I'm-
The singer from Deep Purple did one album with them, blew his voice out,
not
and
that
fucking
big of a
left.
Black Sabbath fan then, because I had no idea. I knew Dio and Ozzy.
Yeah, I. You don't have the same brand of mental problems that I do, so
Yeah,
you don't
well-
deep dive music the way I do.
We know.
Yeah, the what do we call it?
No, we can't say that.
Yeah, he says I'm autistic.
Okay, we said it.
I said it. So to move on, Pink.
Yes. Sober.
Sober. Now, was it drinking or drugs or both?
I believe drinking.
Because
I don't think she's-
I don't ever remember seeing her as a mess.
Well, she's never been a mess, but I think behind the scenes and growing up, drinking was her thing. I think drugs a little bit, but not nearly as bad as drinking. And this song, I mean, it's sad,
Very.
you know?
Because it's a person realizing that they're that person.
Right. And we've all been there. I think we've all been there.
I have not.
Never?
No, I didn't take my first drink until I was 22
Oh, I think you've said that before, right?
or
Right.
24.
Right. But I mean,
And the first time I was drunk, I was almost 30.
wow. See, I've had moments of,
The last time I was drunk was really funny, though.
oh boy.
No, it's not. I didn't like shit myself or anything.
Oh, damn it.
No, I was playing D&D because I'm a nerd, and I was drinking bourbon and Cokes, and I decided, you know what? I want Domino's. So I ordered Domino's, and I'm sitting there waiting. I'm looking at the thing. It says, Gene is out with the order. I'm like, there is not a Gene within 6 miles of my house. Something went wrong. I look, and it's my old address when I used to live over in Marine Park.
Awesome.
Now, the reason I say there's no Genes in my neighborhood is most of the drivers and the delivery guys from the Domino's in my neighborhood, I know by name.
Right.
And not one of them is named Gene.
Right.
Ironically, Gene is the guy who used to live 2 doors down from me. So I called the Domino's. I realized it's the Domino's in the old neighborhood. I called them. I said, hey, man, I ordered to the wrong store.
Right.
He goes, I thought it was weird. I hadn't seen you in a while. Is everything okay? I said, yeah, I moved. He goes, all right, I'm going to cancel the order.
Wait, there's a part of that you're glossing over.
I hadn't seen you in a while.
Yeah, you called Domino's that.
No.
often that the guy
He was
hadn't-
also, he lived 2 doors down from me.
Oh, that it is the actual Gene.
It's that Gene.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was
gonna
like,
say,
okay.
You haven't talked. Bro, I'm just making sure you're okay, man. I haven't talked to you in a couple weeks.
That happened in reality. Like a guy used to order Domino's like every day, and
Right.
then he didn't order for like a week, and the Domino's called the cops to do a welfare check,
Wellness check.
and they found him on the floor. He had had a stroke.
Jesus Christ.
Domino's saved his life.
Yeah. Wow.
They probably led to it, but they also saved his life. Back to drinking. So
Right.
I realized at like 11:30, I had ordered like an hour before that I called the wrong Domino's.
Wow.
And then I had to order the right Domino's, and now I'm standing on Discord.
Yeah.
Because we're playing D&D online. I'm standing outside with my phone and the microphone waiting for Domino's.
Wow.
Yeah, so after that I was like, you know what? Maybe bourbon and Cokes are not the way to play D&D. Just a theory.
So the story for me on this song is as you know, I'm a huge Pink fan, right? So Mary Jane for my birthday one year got me Pink tickets, and they wound up being fake. Long story short, we get there,
That's terrible.
and the box office person saw that we were like stuck. She called us over and she goes, they just opened up a bunch of tickets. She goes, if you know, for an extra, I want to say it was $50 a ticket. I'll give you real tickets. And she goes, and they're close. We were 6 rows from the fucking stage.
That's great.
So when she did this song, pretty sure it was this song, she did that thing where she spins in the air and she goes down into a pool below the stage.
I have no idea.
And when she comes up, she's all wet. And when she's spinning, the water's going everywhere. The water hit my hand. I'll just leave it at that.
And you say, so you went to get in the pink and you got all wet.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
And I told Mary Jane that I would never wash my hand again.
And he hasn't. It smells like death.
This heat ain't helping.
It got the pink, and now it's in the stink. I couldn't stop myself.
It's okay.
I felt it coming. I couldn't stop it.
Listen, you got to do what you got to do.
Her emotions are so raw in this song. You can feel it.
And the funny thing is that I believe she never got the recognition she should have.
I can agree
She was
with
always
that.
the background pop star. She never got as popular as...
Well, they pushed her as a pop star, not as a legitimate act.
Right.
And I don't know if she suffered for it because she's a phenomenal musician. She's a phenomenal artist.
Well, originally they did push her that way.
yeah.
You know?
Wait, as a legitimate artist?
No,
Or
as a
act?
pop star.
As a pop
in
act,
the
yeah.
beginning. Yeah.
And then she took
And then the
control of
second
her
album,
stuff.
she was like, screw this, I'm doing my own thing.
Yeah, she took control of her own career at that
Right.
point.
And this whole album, it holds a special place in my heart because this was another one that where like the time of this album, I was going through a lot of personal stuff that even people really close to me didn't know, you know, but it was like internal stuff, nothing crazy. I wasn't, you know, suicidal or, you know,
Oh, I've been
a drug addict or anything. But
since we're going to talk about mental health and addiction and things, I think everybody who's ever suffered from a form of depression
right.
has thought there's no way I'm ever going to get better.
Right.
Now, because of the theme here, a lot of people mask mental illness with drugs and alcohol, or even depression, or, you know, the smaller things that are still part of mental illness but not talked about. They're stigmatized. Everyone tells you, man up, be tough.
Right. And
It's
especially our generation.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
To this day, I still hold stuff in. I think I've told you, my kids told me they never saw me cry. You know, and it's like, I
My
never
son,
have.
my son has seen me cry mostly pain though.
Right.
Like emotional, I don't cry often.
Right.
I have a thing. You're probably gonna call it acute autism, where I have trouble getting that emotion out when I'm
Right.
upset.
Right.
As an adult, as a kid, I cried all the time.
Yeah.
It's whiny.
Okay.
Yeah, but we tend to minimize emotions.
Yeah.
And we mask all that pain with drugs, alcohol, food. In my case, when I'm stressed out, I eat like an animal.
Yeah.
You know, these are the things that we don't talk about, and talking about it helps.
Oh, of course.
And we're not sponsored by anybody. You know, we don't have any of that. Talk to somebody.
yeah.
Get it. You know, there are apps for that. You know, Talkspace and stuff like that. There are places you can go. The suicide hotline is there. I don't know the number.
988.
Just 988 suicide.
988. I think it's like 911. It's
Is it
988.
really?
Look it up.
No, I'm not going to look it up. What I'm going to do is when I go to do the video,
Yeah.
I'm going to add it in.
I'm gonna look it up.
All right, he's going to look it up for the audio.
Go ahead.
Basically, when it comes to mental illness, if you feel like you can't handle life, call somebody, talk to somebody. It is 988. Is
Help
that
is available 988.
English, Spanish? It doesn't say more, but I'm assuming it'd be almost
Right.
any language. And if you're listening to us, you're speaking English, because we barely speak English. Is stupid a language?
For us,
We're fluent.
Yeah.
But more importantly, we need to remember that, you know, people who suffer from this stuff, there's a reason that they end up under the guise of drugs and alcohol. They
Right.
end up with the effects of their problems.
And they think that nobody's there to listen, and it's not true. I mean, everybody is there to listen. If you have family and friends, are definitely going to listen.
I had a friend who he would go out and get drunk on his own because he didn't think anybody would want to hang out with him.
Right.
And I was like, dude, I literally used to do nothing all day. I'd sit around, wait to go to work at 11:30 at night. I would have hung out with you.
Right.
You didn't have to get hammered. You
Right.
could have just hung out with me when we played video games and made jokes.
Yeah.
Like this, but with video games.
So let's move on to your next
Sorry,
one,
you're not into video games.
which is
Sweet Leaf.
Black Sabbath again. You couldn't.
I had to
How?
do them both at the same time. I didn't want to bookend it with Black Sabbath.
I read this and I went, really, bro? I try to not do this.
I wanted this song on here
Okay.
because it's such a joke.
It is funny. It not.
I don't mean a joke as in like
I don't mean the
ridiculous.
song is funny. I mean, yeah, it's.
He's singing. This is okay. So Ozzy has a lot more to worry about than weed. He admittedly, in his book, I
Right.
Am Ozzy, he admitted that he once at work, when he worked in a factory,
Yeah.
hung his head over a chemical vat to inhale it because it got him fucked up.
Wow.
Then passed out at work from inhaling this stuff. He had more of it in his lungs than oxygen, and he passed out. He almost died.
So he factory huffed instead of huffing like this.
Yeah.
He just inhaled the factory.
Yes. I don't remember what the chemical was, but in his book, he was very honest and very open about his addiction and his mistakes.
Right.
His first marriage, which was both drug fueled and ended violently. He didn't kill her.
Obviously,
no.
he just killed the bat.
That was after.
Yeah.
We're talking his first family. He kind of just abandoned.
Right. Doesn't he have a daughter?
He has a son and a daughter from that marriage.
Right.
And then they have Sharon and Ozzy have 3.
Because I know there was one daughter that was not on.
That is Amy.
The whatchamacallit, the reality show.
Yes, that is Amy Rebecca Osborne. The only reason I know that is years later she released an album by herself called ARO. Under the name ARO because she didn't want to be lumped in with her dad. She didn't want to use her dad's name like everyone else does. And she did it. She did it on her own. She didn't want to be part of the show. She didn't want to be part of that environment. She knew it was going to be a circus and wanted nothing to do with it.
Okay.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, his book is crazy. If you want to read it, I Am Ozzy, the audiobook, is not read by the author, thankfully. I would not want to. No, I would not want to do that.
It'll be a 16-hour long fucking book. Audio book. Now, my question to you was: Did this coin the word sweet leaf, or
no?
This was a
no.
I have no idea. There's certain words like
I'm gonna nerd it up for a second. You've heard Lord of the Rings,
yeah.
So pipe weed,
right,
in Lord of the Rings messes with your brain.
Okay,
it's weed.
Well, okay, but
so they were talking about pipe weed and the leaf and stuff in Lord of the Rings.
Right,
it goes way back.
Right, because first of all, I never heard anybody call it sweet leaf. Growing up,
nobody ever calls it that. They called it that because they needed something that wasn't "I love weed," fuckers.
So there's always, it's ever evolving, right? So when we were growing up, it was pot and weed. Some people called it reefer, which,
ew.
And then
this is the 50s.
I don't know, the newer generation. I can never say this, and I'm going to be embarrassed to say it right now.
I'm so excited.
Is trees? I can never say that. What are you gonna go smoke some trees? You sound like a fucking idiot to me.
I'm 42. I've never done it.
Oh,
I've been in the room. Obviously, I've gotten
you never
contact.
Smoked pot either?
Nope.
Wow, you fucking straight edge cocksucker.
I was until in my 20s. I had a drink and I didn't drink for a long time.
Not that that's a bad thing.
Wait, the straight edge part or the cocksucking part? Because really, you kind of insulted 2 groups of people in one shot.
No, both. But in your case, and in our case, the straight edge part. I mean, especially me. I listen to a lot of straight edge bands.
So I'm gonna throw it out there. I have hardcore addicts on both sides of the family.
Okay.
So growing up, it was I was discouraged from playing music because my parents thought that you got into music, you got into drugs automatically.
Right. Okay.
And then on top of that, we had heroin addicts in the family.
Oof, all right.
So it was like you become afraid,
right,
to fall. Like my mom smoked until she was 64.
Okay.
I've never smoked.
I did. I quit that, and then my dad. I remember the day my dad quit. He used to smoke Carlton 100s, and I must have been about 9 or 10, I guess. And I remember he had his spot on the corner of the couch, and he used to smoke in the house. That's how fucking old I am. And he put the last cigarette out, and I remember he picked up the pack, and he looked at it and he went, "I'm done." And he hasn't smoked to this day.
That is a level of commitment I have never seen.
That's all he said. Yeah.
So my dad quit when I was little. Like, I want to say under 5.
Okay.
My mom quit. I was in my 30s.
Yeah.
She smoked so much. Like cleaning the bathroom downstairs, you could literally clean it off the ceiling.
Yeah.
The bathroom always smelled like that.
Right.
And if she had not quit, I don't know if I would have had my son around here. Because it was
okay. Yeah. Is that bad?
My breathing used to get so bad, my allergies would turn to asthma.
Now, did she explain to you how she quit when you're that... Like, I think of people who...
My mom didn't have a choice.
Like,
she was in the hospital for like a month and a half.
All right. Because, like, it's so funny to me, like, I'm not going to preach a little bit, but when you decide to quit, you quit. It's like... I had one I think around Christmas time, because we were at a party and I was like, somebody was smoking a cigarette. I was like, give me one of those, and I had one, and it was the worst. I didn't finish it. I had like 3 drags, and I was like, no, now I know why I quit. There's one thing you'll hear people, and there's a lot of people who say this. I loved smoking.
I don't get it. I'm not mocking it. I just don't get it.
Yeah, and people will tell you they love smoking, but once you get it in your head that you're going to quit, and then you try, it was disgusting.
I have friends. I have coworkers that have quit and unquit hundreds of times.
Right.
I just don't see the allure of that.
Well, it's an addiction.
Yeah, I know that. I'm aware of it, but I also, because of me actively avoiding all this stuff, thankfully I don't know addiction.
Right.
Food, obviously.
You know a dick though. Go ahead.
Not my own. I haven't seen it in a while, you fuck. You thought you were going to walk past that one? You're not going to get better than me. Nobody beats me up better than I do. Yeah, I'm glad you're sweating. I guess I have to check for the next song.
No.
What happened?
I don't know.
I think I broke him.
I'm starting to. It's one of us.
I took a shower, fucker.
So did I. Maybe it's just in my head. So the next song is Crack Hitler by Faith No More. I want to know your opinion on this one.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Not cocaine.
It's not crack. Okay, so crack is a derivative of cocaine.
Right.
It's just
there's two different effects to it, right? I wouldn't know because I've never done either.
Yeah, I've never touched cocaine, never touched crack. Obviously, if I've never smoked weed, I've never done crack.
I went straight to the hard stuff.
Oh, I used to joke. I tell my parents, I'm like, you're in your 70s. Now would be the time to try heroin.
Yeah, right?
Like,
do it all.
What's the worst that happens? The average lifespan of a heroin addict is 20 years anyway. Yeah. Mike Patton seems a little too method for this for my taste.
Yeah.
Because he's all over the place.
Right. Well, this is, like I told you before, this is the album that he got to be himself.
Yeah.
He got to...
Which maybe that's why I don't like him.
I don't know. This is my favorite album. One of my top 5, probably top 3 albums
ever
of all time.
Wow.
Yes. This is the near perfect album.
So really, the next thing I'm going to say, I hate the bass line and the tone on this.
Really?
I do.
Wow.
It's so thin and like to me, it feels emotionless.
Yeah.
And was this Jim Martin's last album?
Yes.
So this was the last one. They're the Cops.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to hear it when we.
Hopefully.
No, the last time when you fixed it,
I fixed it.
You fixed it. I didn't hear anything. Now we sound weird. It's like, oh, there's Brooklyn. What? I don't hear anything.
Good.
But
that makes the transition so much easier.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Damn it! I held it in. I held it in. I'm making a transition joke to you, fucker.
Hey, just because I have sweet tits doesn't mean I'm doing anything. Leave me alone. So yeah. Okay. So Faith No More has a style
that you dislike
at times.
Okay.
Some of the stuff I love.
All right.
This was not it.
All right.
But also, I've heard the song a million times.
Yeah.
King for a Day, I like better. I don't know. King for a Day is a better album to me than Angel Dust.
I cried at the end of King for a Day because I kind of had a feeling they were breaking up. And then they came out with one more album after that, which was album of the year. And then it wasn't. And after that, it was Soul Invictus.
Soul Invictus, which is
you didn't like that one either.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
See, you're not a Faith No More fan. I get it.
I'm not a true fan. I'm not a diehard fan.
I get it. Yeah.
But I do love the Chuck Mosley stuff. I do love early Mike Patton stuff because it was written for Chuck Mosley.
Right.
I get that.
And oh no, I would say
I don't like Mike Patton as a person.
This was Jim Martin. Really?
Yeah.
Why?
He's a dick. He's a dick to other people.
Is he really? I have no idea.
I've seen interviews where he's just rude.
Yeah. He's
got a bad attitude. Everyone will forget a bad performance. Nobody forgets a bad attitude.
Okay. All right.
And that's the same reason I don't like Guns N' Roses. Fucking Axl.
All right. But see, I'm able to, separate the art from the person.
Art comes from somewhere.
You fucker.
That's why I have so much conflict when it comes to Pantera stuff. Because of Phil.
Yeah.
And I'm very conflicted about how I feel about him versus the music, because before I knew who he was or what he was about, I loved Pantera.
Right.
And now that love doesn't go away
For the music.
for the music.
Right.
Oh, I never had love for him as a person. I
Yeah.
just didn't know him. And then when I got to know who he was in the world, I was like, fuck.
Right. When I met him, he was awesome.
Oh, he's probably a super nice guy because you were a paying customer,
Well, it was the after party. It wasn't even.
which you had already paid to see him play.
Okay. I got it for free.
Yeah, on your knees.
No. A guy I used to work with was a.
I'll give you a
roadie-
backstage
was,
pass.
Not a roadie. He worked at I think it was at Nassau Coliseum, and they all got.
You showed him your tits.
I did.
And then you got to see
Back
backstage.
then I had none. Back then I was skinny.
I wouldn't know what that feels like.
Ever?
I don't know.
Even as a kid?
As a little kid, but I didn't care about being. Well, actually, funny enough, I didn't eat a lot when I was a kid, and the doctor's like, "You're not eating enough. I don't want to be fat like them."
Then you fucking went the opposite
I
direction.
decided, oh yeah, I like cheeseburgers. Yeah, let's go.
So this reminds me of Keith. This song, only because we were working construction. We would make $50 a day, I think, and we were young. We were 15
Wait a second.
What?
You were making $50 a day.
doing construction.
You were day laborers.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're day laborers.
And I went out and I remember this was one of the first albums I bought with the money we got. This one, it was Countdown to Extinction.
Okay.
And I remember we listened to it. We used to hang out in Glendale. I grew up in Bayside, but I used to hang out in Glendale. And we had a boombox.
Don't worry, I don't know where it is either.
In Queens.
Yeah, I don't.
Right next
I
to
know where
Ridgewood.
Bayside
You got-
is. I don't know where Glendale
You
is.
got Ridgewood, and then you got Glendale as you move further down Myrtle Avenue.
I don't know where Ridgewood is either.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You fucking lived in Brooklyn, dude.
Yeah, and I never went to Queens.
And you never went to Ridgewood? You never
No.
went to... All right, whatever.
No, I want to hear this. I want to hear this logic.
What? Well,
I
I've been
never went
all
to-
over Queens. I know Queens. You mention a place in Queens, I'll know where it is.
You drove.
Back then, a little bit. No, I was 15. I didn't.
Okay, so what was your range at 15? Like, how far were you going?
Bike-wise, probably 3-4 miles.
Yeah. I got Bay Ridge, which is about 3 miles,
Yeah.
but I never left the borough.
Oh, all right. Well,
Because-
you're one of those New Yorkers. I knew a guy who lived in the Bronx his whole life. Met him when he was 18. I was like, "Did you ever go here?" He's like, "No." You ever go here? I was like, "Did you ever leave the Bronx?" No.
Well, some
We
people.
are the epitome of what you guys are, of what New York is. You just never leave New York.
Why would I go to Queens when I knew no one in Queens? I knew of nothing in Queens. There was no internet history of awesome places to go in Queens.
That's a good point.
In the 90s when I was a teenager.
Anyway, Boombox.
Exactly.
Boombox listening to fucking Faith No More, Angel Dust, the album.
That must have been so weird. Just you sitting somewhere blasting Crack Hitler.
Or Countdown to Extinction.
Well, that's not that bad.
Yeah.
No, it's not. To me, it's not as odd as the funk bass line of this song. The thin, tinny
All
funk
right.
bass line of this song. Now, I love Billy Gould's bass playing.
Okay.
It's just this song, one song, I don't like the tone at all.
So I picked the one song
You
didn't
picked the
like
one
on this
song
whole
I didn't like the
fucking
bass tone on. And probably whatever's on Sul Invictus. I listened to it once and forgot it existed.
album. All right, let's pick a song that so I can tear you apart.
Oh, okay. Queensryche.
No, this is not
Needle
it.
Lies.
This is not it. This one I fucking
Off the album Operation
this one
Mindcrime.
I enjoyed the shit out of.
Because it's amazing.
Yes. Jeff Tate's voice is fucking phenomenal.
It's unique. There are very few voices
love
like
his
that in the world.
voice. I love his voice.
I know there's another voice like that, Todd LaTorre, the current singer. It's pretty similar.
I haven't listened to new Queensryche, so I have no idea.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. When they do
Well, isn't there two Queensryches now?
no,
Oh,
Jeff Tate does not use the Queensryche name
okay.
because of
it's
the
just him.
confusion. They
It's just-
sued and lost.
Jeff Tate.
Yeah, so it's Jeff Tate, or there was, I forget the name of the other band. He had another band name that he was using for a while. I forget what it was called. It was bad. Jeff Tate's not a bad dude. He's just kind of a dick. Like he's just kind of
He's not a bad dude, but he's just kind of a dick.
Yeah,
But
you
Mike
can be a
Patton-
dick without
Mike
being a bad
Patton
guy.
Is an asshole.
he's an asshole because he's rude to everybody.
Oh. Well,
But-
that's consistency.
But
Jeff Tate's just assholes to what, women?
no. Wow, that is very specific.
That's what I mean. Like, what are you talking about?
He's had like
He's selectively an
in his
asshole?
band, like with his band, he's had moments of contention and shit like that.
Okay.
But it's never spilled over into the rest of the community. He was a dick during the recording of that song with Dio, that everyone was in. We're Stars.
Band-Aids?
Hearing aid. Because they couldn't stop themselves. And he was a dick, and they cut him down to like 2 parts.
Okay.
He's in background. Halford blew him out of the water anyway. Dio's Dio.
Yeah.
Paul Shortino from Rough Cut was better than him. It's just, it was humbling.
Okay.
But this is a story about a heroin addict being used as a assassin by a revolutionary group.
Okay.
Using the Catholic Church as a hiding spot for an assassin.
Is this a true story or he just made it up? I don't know.
It's completely false.
Sounds cool as shit.
It is cool as shit because it's manufactured.
Right.
But the thing, he's in the beginning of the song. You can't just walk away.
Yeah.
That's a priest telling him that.
Oh.
And
okay. See, I didn't read very far into it.
Did you ever listen to the whole album?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Okay, so
I was not the hugest Queensryche fan.
okay,
I was, but I got in late. I got in during the Empire years.
it's not a terrible place
And
to
then
be.
I went backwards. I never went forwards, And then I stopped. I stopped because they did Silent Lucidity, and I went, "Oh, you're doing that, huh?"
But that was on Empire.
I remember.
They did one song like that.
I don't know. Did they ever go? I don't know what was after that. I thought they just went like like Under the Bridge and all that when they come up with that one famous song, "Fly" by fucking,
Sugar Ray.
Sugar Ray,
And just everything
and
sounds
everything
like Fly.
after that sounds like fucking Fly, or everything after that sounds like Under the Bridge. It was like,
oh my God, I can't
fuck, you're
remember
just
the
trying to
name.
catch that fucking thing again. Just be yourselves. You were so good in the beginning.
The singer from Smash Mouth, Steve. I don't know his last name.
You could have said Bob.
I know,
Steve.
but his name is Steve. The only reason I know that is because I saw a thing where him and Guy Fieri were hanging out, and
And
they
they
almost
look exactly
they
the
almost turned
same.
into one person.
They were almost Voltron.
like Dragon Ball Z fusion into one dude with a complete beard. It would either be completely blonde or completely brown.
That's
It was
awesome.
terrible.
That's funny.
But yeah, they got lumped into the same thing. They got All Star, and then everything had to sound like All Star.
Well, that was their first album, though.
I know.
So at
Sugar
least
Ray-
everything sounded
Okay,
like Sugar
what-
Ray started awesome. You ever listen to first? Well, no, you wouldn't think so. But Sugar Ray's first album.
Did you
was
say?
great.
Did you listen to Sugar Ray's first album?
I did ask you
No.
that. Yeah, I know.
No, I did not.
Yeah. Sugar Ray had a great first album. It was like punky and a little, like punk and I wouldn't say hardcore, but it was it was on the edgier side. And then their next album they came out with, and most of that album is pretty decent. And then they came out with Fly, because I forget the story, but they were told to make a more radio friendly song, and then they did. And then, like you said, everything after that
Had to be
had
that.
to sound like that. And then you get Every Morning and all this, and then like, holy shit, guys, you were so fucking good in the beginning. I know that Money fucking must be great, but holy shit.
There's an argument Patton Oswalt puts out for hating Nickelback. He goes, I don't hate music anymore because people give Nickelback so much shit. They wrote music to make bros happy and get pussy.
That's it. Yeah.
Really? How can I be mad at them?
Right.
It's like you made 6,000 dudes happy and you're getting laid. Where's the fight?
1,000 dudes?
Yeah.
Oh, dude bros.
Yeah. Just a whole bunch of Kyles.
Kyle's, yeah.
I know a Kyle. It's the opposite of every Kyle joke out there.
Right.
Literally the opposite. It's a reggae loving dude. He's a cousin of one of the guys I work with.
Yeah. Well,
Nicest guy in the
they only
universe.
say Kyle because it's Kyle and Karen. It'd probably be more of like a Brandon or something like that.
Brandon is the new
Or Tyler.
Oh, a Tyler, a Kent.
Kent. I've never heard of Kent before.
Kent's a cunt. Yeah. So Queensryche. If you haven't heard Queensryche, go check out Operation Mindcrime. Don't check out Operation Mindcrime 2. I'm sorry it exists.
When did that come out? After?
Oh, way
Empire.
after.
All right,
Dio's
yeah,
on it
Why?
because he plays a guy. It's like a rock opera. I know. I know.
Just gave me a stomach ache. fucking rock opera.
Yeah, no. I got nothing good to say about it too. Keep slapping your microphone. I'm sure that's going to end well.
Shut up, dickhole.
That's the second time you've called me dickhole today. And I'm not mad because it's really funny. I like dick tip.
One day we have to set up a phone or something and just record us setting up or record us in the car, because half the time it's telling us to shut up and not talk about it till we do this, and then a lot of the other times is just cursing each other out or calling each other names.
Why don't you take those dick beaters and get it done right? Yeah, he calls my hands dick beaters. It's not wrong. It's my dick, but it counts. All right. Anyway,
let's move on.
So is this Grandmaster Flash?
Yes, it is. Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. With white lines. Don't tell me you don't like this.
I do. I really do. It's just the subject matter is so fucked up because this was like 1980.
Was it?
It was 82 or 83.
Uh-huh.
It was literally before the height of the crack epidemic.
Right.
And it got way worse before it got better.
Yeah.
Now I'm slapping my mic. Now you got me doing it.
Slap it. Anyway, so this song has a Brooklyn story with me. I remember my uncle and aunt used to live in Bay Ridge, and this reminds me of going down the Belt Parkway in the 80s with my parents.
Seeing the white line in the middle of the road?
Yeah, that and the song.
Just kidding, Jesus.
And it reminds me of wildfires. I don't know if you're old enough to remember, but there were always wildfires on the side of the Belt Parkway.
Yeah, by Canarsie.
Always.
It used to always catch fire.
Right. And that's what I remember.
That's where you dump cars.
I remember driving through and there was fires on the side of the road. I mean, you don't see that now. The Belt Parkway.
You just be staring out the window, smiling. White lines, things on fire in the background.
Yeah.
It was just mayhem.
Blow away.
The 80s were mayhem.
Yes. Yes. And we didn't know it because we grew up and we were kids. It was normal to us.
I have a different story.
Okay, go.
So not a Grandmaster Flash story.
Go ahead.
It has nothing to do with him.
What?
I was hanging out with my friend Lou, hanging out with my wife, sitting in a Taco Bell parking lot like animals.
Yeah.
Looked across the street and I looked too fast. And it was Grandmaster something's Kung Fu and whatever. Oh. And I go, I thought it said Grandmaster Flash. And then my brain went, what you see is not a test. I'm going to kick this little girl in the chest.
And it works.
And he almost threw up Taco Bell on my back.
That's hilarious. I'm sorry. That is funny.
And every time I drive past this place, it's still there. Yeah. Every time I drive past this place,
you sing that line.
I sing it. I howl. My son howls.
Yeah.
My wife is like, you are stupid.
Now this is going to sound weird, but this is back when hip hop was fun.
It was. I wouldn't say fun. It was more party oriented.
Right.
It was more dance and party oriented.
It was before right. It was before gangster rap and whatever today's stuff is called. I'm not even gonna.
Wow.
What?
He almost said something really racist.
Not racist. I didn't want to call it shit. But I mean, because you know what?
Did he though?
Listen, I did. But the funny thing is that I say it about my kids' music all the time. They listen to stuff. They play something for me, and I'm like, oh my God, I am a fucking old man. I am my parents because their music is garbage.
Devin doesn't have terrible taste in music. He just likes poppy stuff.
Yeah,
he likes poppy stuff. He likes dancey stuff. He's six.
Wait till he gets into like stuff he wants. You're gonna try to push him in a direction. He'll listen to some, and then sure, I'll show him punk stuff. I'll show them punk and stuff like that, and they're like, oh yeah, this is cool. And then I'll play them something like Wesley Willis, Rock and Roll McDonald's, and it's the greatest thing in the world.
I am so happy that they like Rock and Roll McDonald's.
Yeah. I thought it would be a funny joke this week when we were getting McDonald's to show my kids Rock and Roll McDonald's. And it has been on nonstop in my house.
He did it to himself.
Everywhere I go.
You did it to yourself. You have nobody to blame but you.
But I got to say, it was a genuine laugh from both of them. When they first heard it that first time, holy crap, did they laugh hard.
It's a hard laugh the first time you hear it.
Yeah.
It's a what am I listening to? What the hell is this?
Right.
Whose idea was this?
Yeah.
this is weird. This is odd.
Yeah, and the Casio, the Casio, the looped.
It's an Alesis.
The looped drum roll, because I remember having it as a kid. I had that little Casio, and it would play the tune, and then you would hit that little button. It would go. It's that synthesized drum roll that is so terrible.
They're all terrible.
It's so great.
It's undeniably stupid.
Right.
But this song is like we didn't realize how bad crack was. Like,
right.
And I don't know about you.
And I'll tell you what, I think as a kid, I thought this was white lies. Not white lines. White lies, like little white lies. I was young.
White people.
Fuck you.
Yeah, there's something about this song. It's like almost like they didn't know how bad it was gonna get.
Yeah, yeah.
And it got so much worse.
Right.
It really did. The mid to late 80s were a nightmare when it came to crack.
Yeah.
This neighborhood didn't have much to it. Towards Hamilton Avenue was nuts.
Like I could see down by the highway.
That's
looks like
Hamilton Avenue. Yeah.
Okay.
It was nuts.
Yeah.
It's still nuts down there.
It's not a. I wouldn't want to be there at night.
There is a hipster movement into Red Hook.
Okay.
Now, Red Hook, when I was growing up, was a no-go.
Okay.
You did not go to Red Hook for anything unless you were looking for trouble.
Point during the day. Even
Day or
during the
night.
day. Okay.
There are parks down there. Nobody wanted to go to them. Now, this is, mind you, I am 42 now. I was in the 80s. I was a kid.
Yeah.
Even in the 90s and the early 2000s, at night, it was still a no-fly zone.
Right. Even when it was getting better, the city was getting better.
It's still not better. The problem is not the people. The problem is the policing, because they don't.
It's non-existent.
They don't want to be there.
Even to this day.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's an IKEA down there that caught fire.
Yeah, yeah.
Remember there was a big fire down there.
Okay.
Down by
I know the IKEA.
It was the evidence lockup down by the water.
Oh, that's where it was. Okay.
It was right next to IKEA. That whole area is empty.
Right.
And people want to build stuff there.
Yeah.
But then in between point A and point B is the poor community.
Right.
And
it's, if I remember correctly, it's hard to get to too, right?
It's not easy. Really... There's two ways in and out.
Yeah.
The Gowanus is a problem.
Yeah.
The Gowanus is another nightmare.
Yeah.
It's a smelly pit in the middle of Brooklyn.
To clean it. I mean,
so when I was in my early 20s, they fixed the turbines that actually move the water to keep it clean, and it worked for about a year, and then they gunked up again, probably with dead bodies, because that's where people used to dump people.
Yeah,
that's the same thing. The what was that by Borden and Review? You know where the bridge was? Yeah, there was a bridge there.
Yeah, I remember that.
That water, they found bodies in there all the time.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
even while you were working there.
Yeah, no, they found a stripper.
Yeah.
From that place that was in, the walk to Roxy, there was a strip club.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it. Mike's going to beat me up for not remembering.
There? It was from there?
Well, they found it behind there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Strip clubs aren't known for their good record keeping.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I doubt her W-2's lined up. Jesus. Anyway, so back to White Lines. New York in the 80s and not even 90s was crazy.
Yeah.
So every time you think of Friends and you see that first episode, know that 5 blocks away, somebody was literally shooting up.
Right, because that took place in the Upper West Side, supposedly. I don't know. I know Central Perk was. Oh no, it was supposed to be the Village.
Yeah,
it was supposed to be the Village because you can you can go to the.
And if you can go through the Village without finding somebody strung out, it's a miracle.
Well, now you can. The West Village is nice. Still.
East Village is still a little dicey.
No, East Village is getting. East Village got good for a while, except for Avenue D, and then
nobody wants the D.
Yeah, and then now it's.
Back then it used to be a black on white issue. Yeah. Everyone was like, "Oh, the black community is this, the black community is that." It wasn't that. It wasn't the white community. It was the drugs,
and it was just the poor area.
Everything we deal with is a war on the poor.
Yeah.
Anyway, now that I've made it really fucking depressing, let's make it worse.
Yeah.
So Sabotage,
worst fucking song on this list,
and it's short, thankfully, mercifully short.
Hated it.
It has the least amount of lyrics in any of these songs.
Yeah.
The Thorazine Shuffle.
And and then it came on, and every time I would listen to this list, this would come on, and I would go, just breathe.
This is also from a rock opera.
Is it?
Streets.
Garbage.
Yeah. Sabotage. This is what made me hate Sabotage.
Okay. It made me hate Sabotage too.
Yeah. This and Taunting Cobras. They have a song called Taunting Cobras. I don't know. I don't know why.
I'm glad I only know the fucking Mountain King one.
You fucking licking cobras, and for all I care, fuck, song sucks dick.
This was terrible. This was a torture to listen to every time it came on.
So this is actually the idea that the Thorazines used to sedate schizophrenics.
Right.
So
and it's addictive, I suppose.
No.
Okay.
All Thorazine is just necessary to make a schizophrenic person calm enough where they're not full blown schizophrenic.
Right. So why is this? So I don't understand.
There is this slow. Well, it dulls all the senses, turns them basically into a zombie.
See, because
I think lithium's another medication they use for this.
I was just because I think of the beginning because I had this song on this list too. Just One Fix by Ministry, and in the beginning there's that part where the guy goes, "Give me the Thorazine."
Oh, it might be addictive. But I think anything that dulls or changes the senses can be addictive.
Yeah,
especially when you're trying to cover an obvious mental problem,
right?
Something that not only affects the way the world operates around you, but the way you interpret your own senses.
See, the funny thing is
schizophrenia messes with your own senses.
I look at these, and if you're going to see on mine is it's mostly drinking songs, only because I don't know the other side. I don't know the drug side of things. Like methadone, right? Methadone is used to treat heroin addiction, but it does the same thing. It's just not addictive or something.
No, it's
like I don't understand what
dangerous. It's very dangerous. Where did I actually wrote about that? Because there's methadone is used to treat heroin addiction. It turns people into zombies as well.
Okay,
but the other thing is they're not going and committing crime to get money to get something that can kill them. A controlled dose of methadone is actually technically better.
Okay,
but
I don't know this stuff.
Somebody in recovery is going to tell you it ruins your liver just as fast. It does all these major damage issues.
Right.
The same way that heroin does.
Okay.
And then you also can't drink with it because it will kill you.
Really?
Because it'll literally murder your liver.
Okay.
That plus alcohol will cause you to go into liver failure.
Yeah.
A lot of people who end up succumbing to overdose while on methadone, usually it's because they combined it with either they combine multiple doses of heroin with it, or multiple doses of methadone by itself, or mix that with alcohol.
So that's fucking terrifying. If you have a fucking alcohol addiction and you got and a heroin addiction,
you are fucked.
Yeah.
Wow. Addiction is because it's. I argue this all the time with people at work. It's not there's no choice involved with it. Mm. You're either going to be addicted to something or you're not.
Right.
There are some people who literally can drink heavy and then never drink again.
Right.
There are some people who can't even have a sip of alcohol because the next thing you know, they're drinking a bottle. They're drinking 2 bottles.
I hear people. Yeah. See, I can go
and the understanding of that is a huge thing for us.
I can have the one night of drinking till I fucking want to kill myself, and then wake up the next morning with the headache and go, yeah, I think I'm good for a couple months.
I say, I'm going to be nice. You're in your 40s.
Yeah.
Are you ever drinking until you want to kill yourself now?
No.
I was going to say,
no.
Because if you are, we need to have a sit down. That's the point where an intervention is necessary.
No.
If you're getting blitzed at our age,
no,
there's a problem. Like out a good time, you have a little too much wine, you're a little loopy. That's fine. My mom once went out with family
I don't get
friends.
Blackout anymore.
My mom got blasted once. They were giving her caipirinhas, the Brazilian drink.
Okay.
And she was bombed. My dad's pushing her in the car into car service, like, get in there. Yeah, so Thorazine is fucked up.
I don't even want to talk about this song.
What?
I don't even want to talk about this song.
It's so bad.
It's so bad.
It's sad. It's sad. It's terrible. The song is not great.
Yeah, it was the low point of this thing. Like, thank God, in our list, my next song was the next one because it is so upbeat. You don't like it.
I'm gonna get into it in a second. Yeah, Sabotage. I'm not a huge Sabotage fan. The song has been in my head since the early 2000s when it was introduced to me. And
I thought I was gonna hold your hand.
Yeah, I know. It was like, I put my hand up. I thought he was gonna hold my hand. Jesus Christ! Between you, the last time you licking your lips at me, and this time you're trying to hold my hand. It's like I don't know what kind of connection you're trying to make here.
Oh, Go to the next one.
Pie Tasters.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of the song. I don't have the song
Stone
titles.
Feeling.
That's right, Stone Feeling. So is he talking about just drinking?
For the most part, I think he's talking about. Again,
Because I went another way with this as well.
really, what'd you think?
You ever get a little? I don't want to say this crassly. We'll call it lust drunk.
For this song?
It reminded me of that.
It's
when you're so
he's telling a story about basically a guy who drinks himself all day. No one wants to hang out with him. All the women they leave him.
Yeah,
And he doesn't understand why.
because he's the fucking problem.
Right.
But my brain goes to that because the stone feeling. My
Yeah.
brain goes to that. Hey, you ever been so frothed up you start making poor choices?
This is not at all. Did you read the lyrics?
I did, and I got
still
what it
got
was
there?
saying. It just my brain jumps to where it jumps to.
Right. Okay.
I'm
But
sorry, I jumped to weird places in my mind.
What I love about the Pie Tasters is first, I love the Pie Tasters, and second, they have a way of making bad situations sound so happy in songs. I have many examples. This is an upbeat song. If you
It is an
didn't
upbeat
listen
song.
to the lyrics,
But if you listen to the lyrics, you realize this guy's just
right,
too
he's a-
stupid to
right,
realize
a
that
piece
he's
of
the
garbage.
fucking problem.
Right.
There's
And
another song in here that I have comments on that are really funny. Just saying.
Yes, I'm sure. Well, I'm looking at the list, and yeah, there's one more of yours that
It's that one.
the second to last one.
Second to last one.
All right.
Yeah, but it's funny. Not bad.
No. So the Pie Tasters have a way of saying things in a way that sounds happy, but when you read the lyrics, it's no good.
Oh yeah.
You know, this guy's a loser, but he thinks that these things are like just bad luck to him, that he's the good guy, and that these things are just bad luck. Nobody wants to hang out with him. His bottle is empty. He's got to go get another one.
Yeah, that's alcoholism.
Right.
That's
Hence why it's on here.
I know. I get. Yes, I get why it's on here. But like I was saying,
It's
for
not
some
about-
reason, when he's like,
Which
all
is
my
true, we didn't- I
ex-girlfriends
don't think-
don't want to deal with me,
Yeah.
it makes me think of like, I've made some poor choices in the past. I've made some pretty poor choices.
So this song went personal to you. That's what it is. That's what you're saying.
Well, I've never been drunk. I've been the person who be like this. I'm gonna say it the way I normally you say it. This bitch is a mess. I gotta get out of here. It's just too frothed up to make a good decision.
frothed up.
You know exactly what I mean.
I know. Well,
He knows exactly what I mean.
A lot of guys know it. It's the fog.
Yeah. The fog.
Yes. Sometimes you have to clear the fog before you leave the
You gotta
house.
get the poison out.
They did that. Yes. That is, yeah. If you watch Something About Mary, all these things happen in one scene. And it's the fog, frothed up, whatever you want to call it. That's what it is.
Clear your head. And
And then you go out.
it's the same thing. My wife's like, "What would you do if you won the lottery?" I'm like, "Jerk off." She goes, "What?" I go, "Post-nut clarity is important." I've never made any major decision in my life without jerking off first. I wish I was kidding. It is so important. Not like where are we going to eat?
I hope not, because what if we're going to the bagel store after this?
You've said-
I don't want you to. Excuse me, Mike. Oh, shit.
You've said to me, "Hey, where do you want to eat?" I'm like, "I don't know," and I don't leave the room. And I go, "Maybe I'll get a bagel." I'm not jerking off in between. You're not seeing it. No, it's usually like, where am I going to go to school? Should I change jobs? Jerk off? Like,
What am I crazy? I've been working here for 30,
I've been working
20
here 12
years.
years. I did that in 2010. I had gotten a second job at the medical examiner's office, and before I took the job, I was
Yeah.
like, I got to get it out. I got to see if I
gotta.
really want to do this, and I did. And then I realized when I started doing the job, I was day 4. I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Like I can't do this next. And that was the first time I didn't tug one out before because I was thinking about something horrifying and I didn't want to put those two together. Because
I don't
my
want
luck,
this idea to mess up that idea.
because my luck, my brain to go ding, new kink unlocked. Because I'm a goddamn mess.
Oh man! All right, let's move to your next one.
This would be Sponge with Molly.
So awesome.
I love Sponge. The first album, honestly, their other albums are good. Their first album was literally life-changing for me.
This was what, their second album or something?
That was the first album.
Oh, this was their first
This
album.
was from This is from 16. Was it 16? Rotting Pinata. Is the name of the album.
Okay. I didn't listen to the whole album. I knew this from. Here we go. Here's story time with Mike. So this song brings back good memories because I worked in a cemetery for 2 years.
Wait. No. Before you continue.
Go ahead.
A song called 16 Candles Down the Drain brought you back to good times at working in the cemetery.
Yes.
What the fuck?
So I was a landscaper at the cemetery. I used to mow the lawns and excuse me. And yeah, so I used to mow the lawns and stuff like that. And back then, I just had a Walkman. It was the mid 90s.
Yep.
95.
This came out in 94.
This was this must have been 94, 95. I either worked 94, 95 or 95, 96 at the cemetery. Sorry, I was off mic there. And I would walk around with a Walkman because we didn't have phones and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And I would listen to 92.3 or, like the rock stations in New York. And this song came on and I dug it,
This album is a no skip album for me. And this is probably one of those ones I would take
to
to a desert island or to my grave.
Okay. I'll listen to this album because I never gave this. This was just a radio song album.
They had two hits from this. They had 16 Candles and Plowed. Same album.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Every other song on this album is as good, if not better.
Okay.
Best way to end an album, best way to start an album. They were just phenomenal. Phenomenal.
So this is top 3 for you, just like
Yes.
Angel Dust for me?
I would say top 5.
Top 5, okay.
So, people, this is the 90s to me.
Yes,
This
I can
was
see
the
that,
90s.
definitely.
This is about a drug suicide.
Okay.
Not a fun story. I
No,
know this
definitely not.
brought you back to a fun time in your life.
Asshole.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So yeah, one of the things, he finds this girl passed out in the bathtub, sees a glass and sees lipstick on the glass and thinks she's drunk, and then he sees the note. He reads the note, and the note is basically, "I wished I loved you enough to stay," and that's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And I always thought, like, there's nothing he could have done to stop it.
Did he know the girl? Or was it the girl?
No, the idea is,
it was him?
I don't know if it's based on a real story, but
Right.
when you think of, like, once you see a suicide note, no matter what it says, there is nothing you could have done to stop them.
Right.
There's no intervention. There's, like, I lost a very good friend of mine. His name was Angel. Angel was battling mental illness for years, hiding it by drinking. His child was being taken by the mother out of state, and he just couldn't handle it and ended his life. And in doing so, his whole family reeled. Like, I called him just to say what's up, and I missed him, and I talked to his dad because his dad had his cell phone. It must have happened within a week.
Right.
And his dad was just distraught.
And
there's no comforting. And I've known this guy
I
for.
can't even imagine.
I can't even. At that point, I had known him 10, 15 years. Yeah. And it was painful.
Yeah.
And it sucks, and it leaves everyone else reeling. And there's no, like, his brothers. Like, nobody could save him. Nobody could have saved him.
Right.
His brothers couldn't have intervened and made things better. Nobody could have solved the problem in his head that was so big. And that's what this song makes me think of. It makes me think of this person had, even at 16 years old, had the world on their shoulders in a way that nobody could alleviate.
Right.
And that's the problem with mental illness. You feel like the world's against you. You feel like there's no getting better.
Right.
And that's why you said it was 998?
988.
988.
Yeah.
For suicide prevention, please, if you feel like there's no way out, call them. They will help you. They will do anything to help you.
All right.
It's terrible. Yeah, I know. It's really, this is getting more depressing. By the way, I love this song. It's an upbeat song.
Yes. Again, right. It's excuse me. It's one of these songs that I know. I got my hands clasped, and I'm in the middle of talking. And by the way, if you hear my voice is usually much. Like the past few months, I've had this problem. I was waiting. I'm gonna let you finish. And I really think, God, this is gonna sound so stupid.
It's conspiracy time.
I sound like an old man. I really think it's the fucking wildfires because it's
the Canadian wildfires.
The air quality. Yeah, because I work outside all day, and my voice has been shitty for.
You have aerosoled maple syrup on your fucking vocal cords.
God damn it. Anyway, move on.
No, you move on.
All right. My next song is "Dope Sick Girl" by Rancid.
I like Rancid. I don't know that. I didn't know the song beforehand.
Okay, this is the first album with. This is their second album. The first album with Lars Fredrickson on guitar.
Okay.
This is the album that introduced me, basically. If not, yeah, it introduced me to punk rock, kind of.
Okay.
You know, like this was like kind of like the doorway.
Okay.
This was also this is the song I had a Rancid song on a previous list that I said that I had a 1978 Nova where only half of the speakers worked. And I don't know if you've listened to this if you listen to this on
It's split stereo.
Right. So the lead that
Is on the right
is on
side.
the right side. And
Yeah.
those were the speakers that were out on that car. So I only heard half the song. And then when I bought a Honda Prelude, because this is one of my favorite albums, and I put it in
It
the
was
Honda
the prelude
Prelude,
to a good car.
I put it in there, and it was a brand new album. Especially this song, because this song, I was like, there's a whole other part
Yep.
of this song that I never heard.
It is definitely split left right.
Yeah.
I yell at the Beatles for this because if you didn't have both headphones in,
Yeah, you didn't hear the whole song.
you weren't hearing most of the song.
Right, you didn't hear the solo but what did you think of the song itself?
It's great. Terrible subject matter, but it's great.
Well, here's the thing is with this whole album, like you said about Molly and stuff like that, I'm not sure if it's a true story. I bet it is.
I don't know if I honestly don't know if 16 Candles is a true story.
Okay. No, what I'm saying about this is he basically sets the premise. When he opens up, he goes, this song's about a girl who ripped me off. She was dope sick. And then it goes into it,
Yeah.
you know? So,
You gotta love that punk honesty.
yeah.
Which also goes to another song on this list.
We'll
and I
get
actually
there.
I have a lot to say about that
We'll get
one.
there.
Yeah.
But this is another desert island album for me.
So so the one of the terms for heroin is feeding the demon.
Yeah.
It's a terrible way to go.
Right.
These just wasting into nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the cure for that is methadone, the treatment for that, which is just as bad, if not worse at times.
Right.
It's crazy when you think about, it's like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound.
Yeah.
And then I knew guys who got mixed up with heroin
Yeah.
and then who ended up getting clean either on their own or through methadone. And the guys who got clean on methadone are literally their problems.
Yeah.
Like, nobody wants to be around them. They are just as bad on methadone as they were on heroin.
Listen, we had somebody
but they're alive.
We had somebody on the block, on my block, who was a heroin addict, and they were friends with us, and they robbed from us. They were friends with my kids,
That's terrible.
and he overdosed 2 or 3 times on the block. By ambulances, cops on our block. I didn't want my kids to see this. The last time he did it, unfortunately, he passed away. I mean, it's
terrible.
yeah. And I mean, without the drugs, great guy. With the drugs, I mean, we had a Ring doorbell. We used to see him come up on our porch.
Try to grab packages.
I mean, stupid shit.
Yeah.
Stupid shit where if he asked for help, we would have helped him. You know what I mean?
But the problem is you have to want help.
Right.
And he must not have wanted it.
And I
yet.
think he was trying to really hide it. He would always say stupid shit. Like we would talk to him and he'd be like, I need you to pick me up because I got into an accident on the Southern State. And then where he would tell us he got into the accident, I'd be like, he'd be like, I hit the guardrail at exit so-and-so. And I mean, we take the Southern State quite often. I'm like, there's no guardrail there, in that location.
And you'd have to be like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah. But, it sucks.
It does.
And the last time he did it, that's it.
I had good friends that got off of stuff. One went on to a very, very good, productive life.
Yeah.
I'm not going to call him out because it's not fair to him for his story.
Right. That's why, I'm not saying
The
names,
other
but-
one ended up with long-term kidney and liver problems and ended up passing.
Yeah.
And I've lost a few friends. When I was younger, I used to distance myself from most drugs. So if I found out somebody was using drugs, I usually just like stop hanging out with them.
Right.
And then years later, you'd find out they were gone.
Yeah.
So there were so many people I wasn't around towards the end, but because of my beliefs, I made that the issue. And it kind of, at times I feel bad for it. You know,
Well, what are you gonna do? It's your choice. You know, if you don't want to,
if you don't want to be associated.
How do I say this? Yeah, without. I mean, you know, when we were kids, if I saw, like you said, a bad situation,
You'd avoid it.
I'd avoid it.
Yeah.
It's not being
I still avoid it.
right.
But now it's more for my son. I don't want that.
Correct.
I don't want him to be subject to that if he doesn't have to be.
I got you.
I wouldn't even say yet, just if he doesn't have to.
Right.
It's weird being a dad.
Okay.
It's weird. Like now I judge everything based on how he looks at the world.
Right. Of course.
It's so weird.
Right. That's why I showed them Rock and Roll McDonald's, because I knew they would have a fucking blast with it.
Yeah, and they did.
Let's move. We have 3 more songs to go. Now this is where it's going to get a little upbeat now, I believe.
I think so.
Okay, because I want to talk about
The Pat Travers Band.
snorting whiskey. Okay, first off, who the fuck is Pat Travers?
He's a musician.
You're just a dude.
He's a dude with an awesome band.
Okay, if you say so.
Oh, come on. This was good.
The song itself was good. Here's what I hate. Dislike. Hate's a strong word.
Dislike.
The old switcheroo. Snorting whiskey.
And shooting cocaine. Oh, snorting whiskey and
Drinking
drinking
cocaine.
Yeah.
Anytime you do that in a song, it sounds so lazy to me. I'm switching it up. I'm a crazy guy.
This might have been the first one.
Ew.
This is old.
Like, it turned me off as soon as I heard it, because I was like, ew.
Well, I thought about putting Cocaine by Eric Clapton.
Okay.
But then it was going to be kid out the window jokes the whole time. I can't stop it.
Oof.
It's like,
All right, so
what's the difference between a kid and a bag of Coke? He'd jump out of the window for a bag of Coke.
Tell me about this, because I'm done. I'm not going to talk about this song anymore, because
it's a quick one. I love
the song itself. I liked.
Yeah.
I hated the lyrics.
Well,
okay, that one lyric. That one.
Just that one part.
That one part. Terrible.
He's talking about using Coke and drinking to get women.
Obviously.
Yeah. I'm going to drive that girl insane.
But
it's really it.
Snorting whiskey.
The covers of this are almost as good as the original.
You know what I wish you would have put here?
What?
1 bourbon, 1 scotch, and 1 beer by George Thorogood.
I can't.
That's a good song.
I can't. I just don't dig George Thorogood all the time.
Well, I just did, because we used to go to a Red Rock and they used to play that and we used to do it. Yeah, we were fucking those people. We were those guys.
And by fucking those people, you mean each other. I like how you started laughing before I finished.
Because I knew where it was going. As I said,
in the keister.
As I said it, I went, there should be a comma somewhere in here. Semicolon, whatever the fuck it is.
Somebody's colon.
There should... Which brings us to our next song.
The Dead Kennedys with Too Drunk to Fuck.
Yes. All right, go ahead. There's a little thing right here. I don't know if that's on the camera.
No.
Gotta get it off of the
mouse pad.
Yeah, it's freaking me out.
Go ahead. Just for the record, the internet does not have lyrics for this. I had when I went to go pull up the lyrics, I'm like, why are there no lyrics for this? Because he's unintelligible.
No, it's basically about a guy who goes to a party. He gets too drunk.
Yeah.
He falls down the stairs, and he thinks that, I think
his ass hurts, so he thinks he had sex.
No, he meets a girl, and I want to say that they want to do something, but he basically tells, "I'm too drunk to fuck."
He's got whiskey dick.
I'm too drunk to fuck. It's right in the title. It's not a play on words.
See, at one point I'm like, did he say she's too drunk to fuck? Because that's responsible.
No, I think he's talking about himself.
Because if he's talking about himself, okay, that's cool. But also, if he's like, she's too drunk to fuck, that's
there
responsible.
Might, at the end, when he goes into he might be like saying he's too drunk to fuck. I think you might be right.
Yeah, because
now I'm trying to play the song in my head.
There's consent involved.
Right, of course. Well, this is the 80s.
And still.
Yeah.
It's still consented.
No, but I mean, back then it was a little,
It was a problem. It
was,
a lot of things were happening without people's permission.
Right.
And it quickly escalated to, oh, that's just what happens. No, it's not what happens.
Yeah, no.
That's what happens when people don't control themselves.
Correct.
Yeah.
So this song...
Self-control is very important.
This song reminds me of high school.
No matter how frothed up you get.
Yeah, from the fog. because I used to go to my friend Pete's basement and we used to walk to school together. And he was, I mean, I was
Too drunk to fuck you?
I was getting into it, but he was the guy.
I bet you were. You can't stop.
You can't stop.
I can't stop ever. But no, you can't pause like that.
The train is going down the tracks and it's going downhill, and it's just going, and you
just can't stop it.
I'm like, no, stop, David, you can't stop. So he would put on songs while he was getting ready.
Yeah. Don't worry. It's fine.
So it was Dead Kennedys. He put on Mr. Bungle, Faith No More sometimes. It was Sick of It All. He introduced me to a lot of music, whereas he was getting ready, we would just listen to music.
So
one of them
you'd
was
listen
the
to
Dead
this
Kennedys.
and watch him change.
No, he'd go into the fucking other room, dude.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Whatever. I've seen you change your shirt in that corner.
Okay, what? I have no idea.
You're like, yeah, whatever.
I don't know what that means.
He's like, put on something. You put on something, I'll take something off.
I lost my thing.
Good. Hope it went back inside you.
So what else you got to say about this one?
It's funny. It's a good song.
I'm not sure no. Most of Dead Kennedy songs are not funny. They're actually quite political.
Oh yeah, no.
This one, I think they just took a
Holiday in Cambodia is my favorite.
It is very good.
It's definitely not funny.
No. Although he does sing it like it should be.
If I'm not mistaken, the singer's name is Jello Biafra.
Jello Biafra, yeah.
Okay. I have nothing negative to say about it. It's just it's a funny punk name.
Yeah.
You know, listening to Henry Rollins rant all these years has lightened my soul.
I was about to say, what, you don't like Henry Rollins?
I love Henry Rollins.
Yes.
I love him in Black Flag. I like his speaking. I like his acting.
Yeah.
He's a funny, charming guy.
Yes.
Him talking about meeting RuPaul and becoming close friends and going out to lunch together.
Well, RuPaul, started in a punk band.
Yes.
In Atlanta.
It's not far from the soul of drag is music.
Right.
Like drag queens and music are tied together.
Think of glam. Think of glam. Yeah. That's what it is. Dress drag.
And you said the word glam, I thought of one person right off the bat.
David Bowie.
David Johansen.
Okay.
From the New York Dolls.
Yeah.
Buster Poindexter.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where the second you said it, I saw that jowly face in my head.
He told the story, and I fucking wish I could remember how he became Buster Poindexter. Like how they talked him into it.
I thought it was drugs.
No, they talked him into it. How he it's an alter ego, obviously. But
like Chris Gaines. Ugh. I hate Garth Brooks. I hate Chris Gaines more.
Do you know the Tom Segura Tom Segura?
I almost spit water when you said it.
Tom Segura and
he's been fucking with Garth Brooks for years.
That he's a serial killer. Where do you hide the bodies? That he got blocked on Twitter or X or whatever the hell it is now. That Garth Brooks blocked him.
How many $1 billion did he pay to change the name from Twitter to X?
And everybody's still going to call it Twitter.
Shitty. That's what it. I didn't like Twitter before. I literally use it to talk to two of my friends.
Right.
Because that's their main social platform.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't use it.
Well, it's a disaster now.
It's like, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I have nothing to say on there.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I don't even advertise it. I have nothing to say on there. Threads is another one, even though it's...
I signed up. It's the
You
same
were right
thing.
there with me. We started it, and then it's like...
There's nothing to do on it.
Yeah.
I do everything on Instagram.
And it ports over. And
Right.
even funnier is it's showing me people I don't give a shit about.
Right.
Like, I saw you on there, a friend of you, some other people I know, and then there are a whole bunch of people I've never had anything to do with.
Well, because if you in the beginning, if you hit anything you follow, when they sign up, it automatically becomes your friend.
Yeah, fuck that. I didn't do that. It just started with randoms.
So on this list, I got a little overzealous.
Yes, and I enjoyed that.
And I put an extra song, which is, and I don't know if you've heard this, the Cycle Sluts from Hell.
Yes.
I Wish You Were a Beer.
I remember this from Beavis and Butthead in the 90s.
Yes. Well, it originally started, where I know it from, is The Box. Do you remember The Box?
Video Music Box.
Yes.
Yes.
And this would come on, and the video was so weird. I don't know if they did anything after this. I don't even know if this is on an album or if this was a one-shot deal.
No, this is a band.
Well,
This
okay.
is like a legit band.
Because I
name.
never looked them up. I just when we did.
Wait,
Under
did
the
you do any
Influence-
research for these guys?
No.
Where are they from?
I don't know. I said I didn't do any research.
They're New York. They're New Yorkers.
Shut your mouth.
They're New York, New York. There's a line in here that says "Forget about it."
Yeah, no. I didn't think of. Yeah.
I had to look it up.
Forget
I'm like,
about
where are
it,
these?
yeah.
Where are these people from?
Right. Really?
All girl band.
No, all girl singer band. If you watch the band, if you watch the
Was it the drummer? So one of them's just an ugly girl.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just an ugly girl. They're people too. You fucking racist.
You brought it up, and then I'm in trouble.
No, I think they had one male member, but all the
I think
females.
yeah.
All the like both guitarists. I think both guitarists, bassist, and singer
Yeah.
are all female.
I don't know.
The important ones in the band. Sorry, Mike. Drummer don't count.
So
Had to do it.
yeah, Cycle Sluts from Hell.
They are
wish you were
awesome.
a beer. I had to put it on here.
This is pure thrash.
It is.
I don't give a fuck when anyone says this is thrash.
It is, and it's fun.
The second I heard "Forget About It," I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, these Brooklyn bitches,
They yeah. You know what? I want to look.
they
it up
call
later.
themselves sluts. I'm allowed to call them bitches. I know it's misogynistic, but really, there's no more appropriate term for these guys. They're awesome.
But you know, I mean, we really don't have to talk that much about it. But I just wanted to put it on here because when I thought of Under the Influence, this is one of the first songs that popped into my head, and I just wanted to put it on here.
It's pretty. It's a pretty good song. It's a
not
great song.
Not a good. Yeah, it's not a bad.
It's a great song.
not a badly written song.
No,
It's not
solos are awesome.
right. You know,
The only thing it was missing,
cowbell.
always. No, the only thing it was missing is a whole album like this. I didn't.
Oh, I
get
don't
to
know- yeah, I don't know if there's
I
a
would
whole
listen to a whole album like this.
I gotta
To
look
me,
it up.
this is a female version of Testament in my brain.
What?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's that level of thrash.
I did not see that coming.
I have no joke for that.
Really? That you don't have
There
a
was
stroke for?
something about on your back, but whatever.
Okay. Anyway,
So yeah, this list was a lot of fun. Like I said, serious topic. It can get pretty dark, pretty heavy. I'm already pretty heavy, so it's really. If you feel you need to reach out, please reach out to somebody.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't even have to be a suicide hotline. Just reach out to a friend. Your
family,
friends love you enough that
yeah.
they would cry incessantly if you're gone.
the world is better with you here.
Yes,
It
the world is
definitely
better having you than
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
And I don't care what you're going through. We are better off knowing you
Right.
than not.
Right.
So for now, we're going to talk about the bands that we follow and the bands that we support. Acist, Joe is working on new stuff.
Yes. I saw the video he made. He
Yes.
made a video last week for the people,
Those we lost.
those we've lost. Joe, good shit, man.
It's great. Barry has something in the works too. I saw.
The Onion Rats.
Yes. I love Barry. I love Joe. They are two of the weirdest guys in the universe. And I mean that with love. They
Yes.
are two of the oddest birds.
Yes. And I've played with Barry. Barry was in UFK for a while.
I'm surprised Joe wasn't at one point.
I know.
And Barry and Joe worked together for a while.
Right. You guys all worked at Roxy.
Yeah, we all worked at Roxy.
What else we got? We got Unworked.
Unworked. John is a amazing t-shirt maker. He's a great rhythm guitarist too, but he's not doing music at the moment
Both played with him again.
in UFK.
Yeah.
Different iterations of UFK.
Right.
I love John. I love his work. I'm waiting to get more shirts. I have stuff that I have planned that I want to do, mostly insulting sayings.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you got a list.
I want Oppenheimer in the Barbie font. And then I want Barbie in the Oppenheimer font. I want Barbie saying, "Now I'm become Death Destroyer of Worlds." Wow. Oppenheimer saying, "Come on, Barbie, let's go party."
Did I tell you that when we saw Barbie was a preview when we went to see the Super Mario movie, and I was the only one laughing out loud in the theater.
Beat you
I'll
off.
beat you off. I am crying. I looked right at Mary Jane and I was like, I never thought I would say this. I have to see the Barbie movie.
It
I heard
looks
it's really good.
And
But-
from all the cameos I've heard that are in it,
Yeah.
it's worth a watch.
Come on. I'll beat you off. I'll beat you off this whole beach. What did we say? I'll beat you off everybody in this beach on this. Oh my God.
Just Michael Cera in the background with his creepy mustache.
Oh man, so good. But go ahead.
And we're going to talk about the Ouija.
Okay.
So the Ouija, This is going to be coming out closer to our normal release day.
Right. It's actually coming out tomorrow.
Tomorrow, the day after.
Right.
Sunday into Monday.
Yeah.
August 14th, it's a Monday. They are playing at the Let Love In again. The Let Love In.
I'll be in
again.
I'll be away. I'm going on vacation.
I'm going to try to make it. I want to see if we can get people there. These guys are awesome. The Ouija is a great 3-piece band. No singer. Everything is instrumental.
Okay.
That usually deters people, but it's not 18-minute drum solos. I mean, it is groove oriented.
Okay.
It's
a song.
song oriented jazz improv of pop and rock and metal songs. Awesome stuff.
Not done in the style of Dave Matthews.
Oh God, I hate
40
Dave
minutes.
Matthews so fucking
40 minutes fucking songs.
I think that was the first time I ever thought I could jump from here.
Easy.
I was on
Easy.
I was on
988, please. Fucking asshole.
I was on a tier and I forget what stadium it was, but I wanted to jump. It was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Between that and the opening band being a bluegrass band playing Killing in the Name.
Yeah, and fucking Dave Matthews ruining my fucking birthday one year without being there with the fucking cover band that did actual fucking like to the T Dave Matthews fucking jams. I want to kill myself.
I'm going to double down.
I said 2.
The only person who I don't want to call 988 is Dave Matthews. Go through with it.
I bet there's another one. Anyway,
there are more, but he's definitely on the list of people that can definitely not call and do whatever they feel like.
So before we go, one more thing. Rest in peace, Sinead O'Connor.
Oh yeah,
Sinead O'Connor.
I know those Irish names are a little rough.
Rest in peace, Tony Bennett.
93.
So far, they haven't said how Sinead passed, but I have a feeling we all know.
Yeah. She'd been in a bad place for a very long time.
And also, on a high note, congratulations, Tom DeLonge.
For being right.
They're real.
Aliens apparently are real.
So they say. On that note,
that video of him going, "Fuck you, I was right," is so great.
And then just starting the song, aliens exist.
Yeah.
By the way. But on that note,
I am Basher.exe on Instagram.
I'm Nugs29 on Instagram.
We have Hit the Stage podcast on Instagram. You can find Mike and Dave Hit the Stage on YouTube if you want to watch us talk at a camera and each other weirdly.
This is a new camera, by the way. I think we're super clear in this, the way it looks.
We'll see.
I don't know. You probably see me sweating.
Like a prostitute in church.
But
have I ever told you that story?
I don't know.
Sweating like a prostitute in church?
It's a saying.
My grandmother used to say that.
Wow.
My little Irish grandmother used to say, "I'm sweating like a prostitute in confession."
Wow.
I'm like, that is the greatest thing I've ever heard. I'm going to use that for the rest of my life. Thankfully, I grew up fat, so I'm sweating all year round.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Obviously, if you're listening to us, you have a podcast app. We are on all the podcast apps. If you want to change, we are on all of them. Stitcher's going away, so who cares?
Yeah. Also, I know we haven't said this in a while, but tell your friends because it helps us out.
Yes.
5-star ratings on whatever, I don't know, wherever you can give us a rating. I know Apple is a big deal about it. Likes and shares and shit. I hate saying that stupid shit.
Yeah, like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah.
Also, dick pics, I guess. I don't know. I thought you'd enjoy that. I don't know.
Holy shit! I hope you check the fucking the Gmail.
Wait, you're the social media guy.
I know. That's why I just fucking gave you that look.
Dick pics and ball bag shots, please, everybody.
Anyway,
I'm looking at you. You know who you are.
Do you line?
No. For now, take care of each other, seriously, and take care of yourselves. We love you.
Hail Halford.
Hail Halford. And we're out.